All right, welcome back. So now we're going right on to take on some of the matters we've got today. Mr. Fidel Okira joins us this morning. He is the Managing Director of Nigeria Railway Corporation, joins us virtually. Good morning, Mr. Okira, and thank you for joining us on the program today. Now, when this Lagos-Ibadan rail was launched, the cargo rail, we do hope you can hear us, though, Mr. Okira. Now, of course, there was supposed to be a lot of excitement about it, but it turns out that they hit a snag. Because what we understand is that, well, users don't want to make use of that. They think that, look, there's going to be this double handling on the part of NRC, and so they were avoiding it. But we got some commentary from the NRC saying, well, they're looking into the matter if it's not been resolved as of yet. So could you go ahead and tell us, how did this even occur in the first place? Because we thought that everybody knew that the charges were already at one point. So was it an oversight in the first instance on the part of NRC?
Yeah, we still thank God that we're able to break that yoke, that what government has spent money to build the modernized track, the standard gauge track, and we did everything to make sure that it got to the container terminal. As long as took off, it took us very backwards in the sense of our cost. So the issue is that at the terminal, they charge a fee to load the rail, which they don't charge on the road. And knowing that we cannot get to the inside the factory because there are no sidings into them, you still need to move them from the railhead to the various locations. That involves another cost of lifting them up the wagon into the truck. So by the time you add those costs, it became quite non-competitive. But however, we have to also make sure that we work our operational costs so that we don't lose at a loss. Because what we did is to beg all concerned to also reduce their costs. For instance, at APMT, they were charging 60,000 to load the rail. Whereas on the truck, they don't charge anything. And we partner with private people who bring their stackers, who bring their trailers to take the containers to their various locations. The one that left on Wednesday was done by Bono Logistics. The goods were brought in by DHL and going to British American Tobacco. So it took us a lot of negotiation. We have to come down, and I think APMT also came down from their charges from 60 to 40. And at Monia, they also have to reduce their costs so that the owner of the loads at least make some benefit, get some benefit from going on rail. That's supposed to be the why we use rail. But however, we moved 60-40 container, 30-40 container wagon, and within 4 hours it was at Ibadan. And instead of them pursuing 30 drivers, they just need to talk to only one person in NRC to ensure that their goods arrived their spots. I think it's a good thing to go. And those wear and tear on the road for 60 trailers, 30 trailers were off the roads that very day. But we are not saying they can go to the railhead and also pick the load instead of going that long distance. That's the beauty of having a functional rail. The vehicles will last longer. The driver will not be fatigued of doing a very long distance.
Yeah. So,
and the goods will arrive on time.
So, Mr. Okira, these charges that you mentioned now, are they going to be stable such that they won't get back there tomorrow and find out that it's a different charge from what you read out now altogether? So do they have the assurance of yourself and those other agencies that, look, shippers or importers, whichever one, cargo haulers, those prices will be stable?
Well, how is always stable? No, it takes us, before we increase our prices, we have to do some, go to not just the minister, to the president to get it adjusted, because they believe the real infrastructure is to provide the enabling environment for business to grow. What we charge at 17 tons per kilometer right now, and we know we will be there, not minding the cost of diesel. But yesterday, even at the filling station, diesel has gone to 1,040, as against at the beginning of the month, where we are still getting less than 700. And we require about 1,005 to go to Ibadan and another 1,005 to come back. So what we are doing is just to make sure we barely get that cost of buying the diesel and the little thing on it. But we are working out, and it is the duty of the Shippers Council to regulate all those things.
Okay.
The cost, the freight, and the movement. So we are working with them.
You do know that those that have this cargo will be looking at how to reduce costs. First of all, they know that they have charges, clearance charges to pay at the port on both sides, and then when they come in, these are an additional cost. So is it something that the railway service can think about how to really bring this as low as possible?
What we did, our capacity is 70 tons. Those wagons can carry 70 tons. Knowing that the maximum you can take in containers coming to Nigeria is 40 tons. And after a long meeting, we are not carrying by our capacity, we are not carrying by the tonnage that the container is expected to carry. That also gives some relief to the importer and to the companies that are bringing them in. Ordinarily, we would have charged by our carrying capacity, but we bent backwards to carry at the actual tonnage. It's just like if you go and hire a trailer for a pickup load, they will not charge you for a pickup load, they charge you for the cost of carrying a trailer. But being that we expect to make things convenient for Nigerians at this particular time, we are carrying by the if it's 20-foot container, we take 2 of them to make it 40 foot on a wagon. That's against the 70 ton that the wagons and the trucks are designed to carry. So that also gives them breathing space and a relief.
Mr. Kiria, more importantly, when you say that the issues have been resolved and you're engaging with the Shippers Council, please be clear, particularly because of the importers and exporters who are in the business. And when I say be clear, I mean what's the incentive, and will the cost when they arrive at the Monia terminal in Ibadan, has that been written off such that it's an incentive for them to resort to cargo transport via rail rather than returning to the roads?
And we have worked it out. Going by rail make more sense to them right now, adding all the costs together. And especially those who know how it works. Like I said, this particular law is brought in by DHL and is going to British American Tobacco. And they understand there is no way 30 trailers would have arrived in Ibadan at the same time. It's either they have a broken busted tire, the driver complain of one thing or the other. But within 3.5 hours, these 30 trailers arrived in Ibadan at the same time. So they can plan their production, plan their logistics. And they know the benefits, and I think after the first college, people are now coming. Even the exporters have started coming to Monrovia to drop their containers. As at yesterday, we have received, I think, 18 containers that are going access port to go to the port. So it will be better that when we go to Ibadan, we also come back with something. Then it will be a win-win for everybody.
So when you say a win-win again, can you give us the exact costs, that they will have to invest for a particular trip from Lagos to Ibadan?
No, a particular trip like that, 30 tons, was 5,300,000 and something thousand, 5.3 for those 30 Wagon.
And that's significantly lower than what they would spend on the roads.
On road, I think they charge right now between 400 and 500 to Ibadan, while our own is under 170 per container.
That's scary to note. Also, Mr. Okiria, what's the potential in the long or short term now of the expansion of this cargo rail service to other parts of the country, such that there'll be less pressure even for more of federal roads? And how soon will the operations begin? And while you're filling us in on that, what's the guarantee for security, particularly when that cargo service begins to go further across the country, perhaps to the north?
Okay. The one that is making waves is the one we move on the standard gauge. We'll be moving at least 20 wagons per train on the narrow gauge. Pending that, when we had that issue between Kaduna and Abuja, that issue also affected the narrow gauge between a place, Mokwa, Mina, and Kaduna, and we are advised to stop train operation. But however, we've been advised to come back, and our men have gone on inspection. Within those 1 year plus, there was some vandalization where our men couldn't be at the station. So we are taking 3 months to fix it so that we can start moving. They did Dala Inland Port that came up in Kano, and they are really putting under pressure to start something. But we're also working with the military to ensure that between Mokwa and Kaduna is safe for operations. We've been using rail buses to fly that with the support of the security for the past 1 month, and we are trying moving materials to those areas to fix the track. We hope before December we'll be able to run train up to Kano. Because Kano, Kaduna, we have no issue. Lagos, Jeba, we have no issue. The issue we had there was as a result of washout, which we have already fixed. We have expanded the drainages, and the train can get to Jeba now. But our men have started working between Mokwa and Jeba to ensure that the track is fit for use, and the Dala Inland Port is putting us at tremendous pressure to commence, and we are working with that. Within the next 3 months, we will be able to take a train from Kano to Lagos and Lagos to Kano.
Well, Mr. Okiria, just to...
And we are also looking at being able to move train by December from Port Harcourt to Apapa, based on the reconstruction they are doing there. We were there last week with the minister, and they have put them under pressure to deliver that segment, Lagos Apapa, probably to Umuahia, so that we can move cargo from a port. And that construction is supposed to be extended to Onne Port.
It really is delightful to know that we are making progress, particularly in the area of preserving the roads by making sure the cargo trains work. But the question that I want to ask kind of relates to what Bukola asked you just a while ago concerning security on the roads. Add to that, the reason what happened, because if memory serves me right, rail service in Nigeria dates back to the 20s or the 40s, and here we are now struggling to get it back on stream. What happened before that made the train service go under the narrow gauge and the standard gauge, and what do we need to do to ensure that those things don't happen again, or that this effort we are making doesn't go back to a situation where we have to revive it all over again?
Okay, the rail service over 100 years. Over 125 years in Nigeria, and it was the mainstay of the economy.
Yeah.
You can count the number of cars to talk of trailers before then. It's the either of lorries and trailers coming. I don't want to use that. They frustrated using their connection to ensure that rail was not properly funded as they went under. We thank God that it's coming up now. People had government had the will and zeal and making that is doing the right thing to ensure that rail is back live. No amount of money spent on the road, and you allow this. You design a road for 40 tons, and you know that 70 tons are passed. It will fail. And for the security, we believe as a real person, we have the minimum security we can provide for real functionality, which we always have it inbuilt during the construction. But the security is depending on the national security. But like I tell people, supposing rail security is 100%, people have to get to the rail station. The load has to get to the rail station, and the road to the rail station cannot be covered by the rail security. So we have to take the entire security architect for the nation, and it also reflects on the rail. But there are minimum basic security that are inbuilt all over the world on a rail system, and which we also have in our own system.
Okay, well...
So what can make the rail not to go under is to take it as it is, not to pretend. You see, we have government, it's not a business. And that's why, you see, all of people who don't know believe that because we are constructing rail, it should be a business thing. It's not a business service. The benefit, you cannot quantify it in how it reflects on the commerce and life of the people. They can travel at peace, with their peace of mind.
Well, that's a little interesting.
Don't quantify naira and kobo in commerce.
Yeah.
But
well, it's interesting that you put it that way. I wanted you to speak further on the security thing because on the one hand, there was a time we had a railway police. You may want to speak to that as well. But when you say that it's not a business, it's a service, I'm wondering how, because you also said the other time you don't want to run at a loss. That's cheering news. Add to the fact that this revamping or this resurgence, this revival of the railway system in Nigeria came at no little costs to the nation in terms of loans. So if it's not a business, how then do we recoup those costs so we can become debt-free as a result of our investments in the railway service?
Okay. I would say the country that is giving the loan, they are also constructing rail in their country. They know they know that. That's why it's not the negotiation between the rail and the loan giver. It's between the Ministry of Finance and it's government to government. It's just like you are constructing a road. No matter how you tow it, if you don't spend more money on it, the concessionaire will not go back. In the US, I've been saying this thing. They started by individuals and it's still by individuals. Government have massive budget for those individuals to continue to ensure that they operate and construct rail. They give the mining rights and ensure that the mining they are getting, the money they are getting from the mining is used to construct rail. And after the rail was constructed and the operational costs were being supported by government tomorrow in the US and they are owned by individuals. That is what when the airline was going under in America, they paid them out. Even private companies, don't forget the COVID, they bail them out because they know the benefit to the people. They cannot allow them to lose their job.
Okay, so
if you compare it to if you struggle to build houses, it's not because the money you use to build houses, you may not even have spent it paying rent all your life, but you want to have that peace of mind and have a place of comfort. So also transportation is either airport, air or ship or road. If you ask ABC to do 100 meters of drainage between Lagos and Ibadan. We go and park with buses now. But rail, we maintain the track, we balance it, we do everything. So it's not possible for you to say you can make that profit that can be what we are trying to show. If I say we have to make sure we are able to buy diesel to operate those freight and carry passengers. That's our target, because government pay our salary just as they pay the person in the ministry.
All right. Well, good thing. Two quick things I'd like you to speak with, if you can. On the one hand, you have not responded to the issue of railway police, whether or not they are coming back to foster security in the rail service across the nation. And then, secondly, perhaps there is some kind of partnership with states, with other states like Lagos, who are trying to introduce their own rail service as well in their different states.
Before I forget, for the security, we at least know we can monitor our train per second very live to know where they are, and we can communicate to the driver on the train to ensure that we get real life position, and we have some physical presence of our security people, soldiers, police, and civil defense. So on the cooperation between states on Lagos commerce, we are working together. We are partners on the blue line. We ensure that they are able to commerce by assisting them and introducing them to some of our senior and retired people to work with them. On the red line, they are going to be running on our national track, because we are looking for right of way. And at the meeting, we suggested that bring your rolling stock. We have this track access framework, which you agree, you pay something to us and run on the track. And we are ensuring that so that the people can benefit from investment the federal government has made on constructing the track. We will schedule our time, make sure we do proper timing. But recently, the Plateau State government came in and they want to run a mass transit. We advise them on what to do, introduce them so that we can rehabilitate the stations, tracks, and if they can move the rolling stock, coaches and wagon where they are to their area. So we are ready to operate for them, but they will also supply the diesel and consumables to be used. So also Kaduna is on stream. For now we are talking with Osun. We still have the festive train we run with Osun. Other Ilea, Christmas, Easter, but they are talking about having what they call it, a free trade zone before Oshobo, which they are developing, and they want us to extend track to that area. So we are discussing, and we are ready to really cooperate with them, because it's so the benefit of Nigeria that we do it right, and rail, we should not allow rail to go down.
All right. We have to be, we're completely out of time. I wanted to take you more on a number of other issues, but we have to thank you at this time and hope, as you said, that we can, as Nigerians or as a nation, sustain the train service in the country. Fidel Okiria, Managing Director, Nigeria Railway Corporation, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts today.
Thank you for having me. I pray Nigeria to try and not vandalize the track so that we can make the best use of it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.